In this video, we'll be talking about energetic separation from parents. What is it and why is it important? We'll also introduce a concept of a spiritual vessel, and we'll talk about love, acceptance, and containment again, but already on a much deeper level. So, to understand how this whole mechanism works, we'll have to go back to the moment when you decided to manifest yourself into the physical. You were outside of physical dimension. In the dimension where you reside, you experienced yourself as limitless potentiality, as infinite consciousness, simply because there are no limits there. You cannot experience limits in that dimension. Limits are a quality of this dimension that we are currently in. So, when you want to bring yourself from that dimension into this one, you cannot just bring the wholeness of who you are into 3D directly. What you have to do is you have to shrink the wholeness of who you are into a tiny speck, and then as a speck, you have to go through a portal in between dimensions. And then, when you're already here in 3D, you can unfold the wholeness of who you are. And then operate here and potentially maybe expand. Now, when you're going through this portal, on this side, this portal for you is your mother. She is the doorway. She's the gate through which you enter 3D. Now, your mother's role here is, first, accept you as a seed, as this potentiality, then allow you to unfold, not fully, but partially, and then at a very specific point, reject you, release you, give birth to you. So this is how you get your own physical vessel. That's the first thing you need to be able to operate in this dimension. So you create your own vessel by borrowing, for a while, vessel of your mother. You cannot just create your vessel while floating somewhere in space. You just come in and start unfolding your body in the air. You need limits of another human to be able to unfold the potentiality of who you are. So that idea of limits is important here, because for you as consciousness, in that dimension where you come from, limits is not part of your perception at all. In order to understand what is limits and in order to manifest your own limits, you need a container. You need someone or something that has limits so that you can develop within that shape. Now, next, once you have created your physical vessel, your expansion is not done. Your unfolding is not done. Because first part, I use two different words. You'll later understand what's the difference between them, between unfolding and expansion. Here, we're going to stick to unfolding first to make it easier for you to understand. So you first need to unfold who you already are. Understand? There is certain potential that belongs to you, that is you, outside of 3D. So your first goal is to at least unfold that which you already are. But that you cannot unfold fully by just building yourself a physical vessel. Simply, this vessel cannot contain the wholeness of who you are. So you will also need a spiritual vessel. But that is something that your mother cannot give you. She can give you a physical vessel by allowing you to build your own vessel within her vessel. Understand? It's a paradox. You are building your own vessel, but at the same time, your mother is giving it to you. So, she gave you this physical vessel. Now you're born, you are outside of her physically. But energetically, you are still one. You're still within her energetic body. That is important key, which we will go back to once we finish up with the process of how you're building yourself here. All right. There is important point where we need to understand that this process of giving you life or giving you love, mother expresses her love to you by giving you life and death in a package. She's giving you birth and at the same time guaranteeing your death. So you can't just get life without the second part of that package. Same way here, when we talk about acceptance, it comes in a package with rejection. Only that allows you to unfold and live your life. If your mother is planning to only give you acceptance, then you are going to be devoured by her being. Understand? The healthy mother accepts you as a seed, holds you for 9 months, and then rejects. That's how she expresses love to you. Full process. Mother rejects you at the moment when her ability to expand has reached her maximum. So her capacity to expand, to allow you to unfold within her boundaries, has a certain limit. So if that limit is earlier, if it's met before 9 months, if you're born prematurely, if she rejects you earlier, you still have a chance to unfold. You still have a chance to survive and possibly continue your unfolding outside of your mother's vessel. But in case if she holds you longer than she should, there is a limit where her vessel is sufficient for you, for your unfolding. After, let's say, 9 months here, if she wants to keep you longer, you are pretty much guaranteed to suffocate and it's going to be over for you. You have to start all over again. That is the idea of for you to get better understanding why I keep saying that love does not equal to acceptance only. It equals to this full package. Acceptance, allowing you to expand, and then rejection. If you only get acceptance, then your mother keeps you within her boundaries too long because she wants to protect you from this dangerous world. You should grow a little bit more before you can go out there. She loves you too much. It's not going to work for you. You got the point. So in this case, we're saying that perfect, healthy option of your mother's body sensing that very specific point where your minimal requirement, like optimal requirement of growth, meets her maximum capacity at 9 months. That's like the perfect option for you to be born at that time. But even if you unfold too fast for her to be able to accommodate for that, and if at an earlier time she rejects you because she just can't expand anymore to allow you keep growing, she rejects you earlier, in that case you still can be okay. Those points are important for our further understanding. So optimal timing is one, premature is okay, holding too long is the most dangerous. That's where you have the highest chances of suffocating and having to start all over. So how we're going to use this further, I hope it will get clear as we get there. So you're outside of your mother physically. your umbilical cord is cut, you are a separate being physically, but energetically, you are still one. You still share one energetic space, one emotional space. That is done for your mother to be able to feel everything that you're feeling, because she has to feel for you and think for you before you develop your ability to think and express yourself. So she has to feel and know what is your need right now and give you exactly what you need until you are able to ask clearly. So that is the idea of this empathic connection that you're keeping with your mother for that first period of your life, where you are fully, absolutely, totally dependent on her. Even though you're physically outside of her, still you are energetically inside her womb, and she's fully responsible for creating these conditions for you. Mother or whoever is replacing that person for you in your case. The idea is same. It doesn't have to be the woman who gave birth to you. If just this person who envelops you energetically when you're born, someone has to do it for you to be able to survive. That person will develop an energetic connection with you, emotional connection with you, which allows them to feel every impulse of yours as their own. They will be able to interpret that impulse correctly and quickly enough to understand when you're hungry or cold or whatever. So that is done to be able to ensure your survival in the first 1, 2, 3 years. Okay? So in those 3 years, it is very important that you are in this energetic womb still. But at certain point, you have to be rejected from that energetic womb the same way as you were rejected from the physical womb. That is the idea of separation from parents. I will explain why is it important and what happens there and why most of us never experience that separation or never experience it at the appropriate time. And that time is, you'll be surprised, it's pretty early, not 45 or 35 as a majority of our population can still be in the womb even at 85. But the idea there is to be outside of mother's energetic womb, for the energetic umbilical cord to be also cut by the time that when your second chakra starts developing, or when it's developing, that time of puberty, before you are 13, 14. So that age between 8 and 13 is the time of active unfolding of your second chakra. Before 8, from 0 to 7, 8, your first chakra is developing, and that's where you're supposed to get that feeling of safety. You should feel like you're in the womb. You should feel like she emotionally, mother or whoever is replacing her, is supposed to give you that feeling of safety. First chakra. You're safe, the world is safe, everything is safe. That feeling is supposed to be inserted and programmed into you in those first 7 years approximately. But by the time when second chakra begins to actively unfold, you should be out of that womb. And I'm pretty sure none of us were out of the mother's energetic field by that time. And what happens then, you'll understand why that timing is important, is when we understand what is your spiritual body. If you're building the physical body, you can understand how from the single DNA you unfold yourself. Okay, you unfold, 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 and you build yourself a physical body. In the same way, your spiritual body is unfolding, but because it is not physical, we cannot see it and measure it, but we can, to be able to understand how it works, we can imagine it as a geometric figure, which unfolds and becomes more and more and more complex. So let's say you're born as whatever, your spiritual body looks like a cube, for example. And then you unfold more and more sides of yourself. By unfolding each side, you make this cube, you turn it into a more and more and more and more and more complex geometric figure. Your goal to fully express yourself, to build this structure into a perfect sphere, which, as you can understand, probably will take a lot of time. But the idea is that with unfolding each of these sides, you say, you manifest, or you bring forth one more side of who you are, one more side of your identity. And it's important that by the time when you get to age 8 and you start unfolding on the level of your second chakra, which is your creativity, your sexuality, that's where your identity is going, like your personality is going to unfold. Before that, a child is, there is like not much of that identity there, even though there are like some sparks, but the actual creativity and sexuality are bringing like the majority of your personal potential forth. So at that time, when you start unfolding your sexuality, you should already be outside of your mother. You should not be unfolding your sexuality within your mother, because when you're unfolding sides within someone else's consciousness, that person is supposed to accept. I express this side of me, mother accepts. I express this side of me, mother accepts. I express more and more and more sides of me, and if my mother is so patient, she accepts, allows all of them. But by the time I start expressing my sexuality, my mother should not be the one who is accepting them. This is where a lot of distortions at the level of second chakra begin. When you have to unfold those sides of you, but you're still in the womb. And you'll understand the mechanism deeper, but at least I'm throwing in the main details. To understand why it's not preferable, let's go to this process of how you unfold, how that process feels. You, inside the womb, once again, inside your mother's womb, you are this potentiality and you want to unfold. You generate an impulse, you give that impulse to yourself. That impulse tells you to unfold. You generate it and you send it and you receive it. So you're sending it to yourself. Unfold. You receive it and you unfold. Then you generate another impulse. Unfold. You receive it and you unfold. And so on. Impulses, you are the one who is generating them and you are the one who is receiving and responding by unfolding. Now, when you're inside the mother's womb, you are doing this whole unfolding thing. And every impulse that you generate, you feel as unfold, unfold. That's how you hear it. But because you are inside your mother's womb and you're one, technically, between you, there is this water medium. So you are connected with your mother or separated from your mother by a water element. Water element is the element of emotions, feelings. So what happens when you generate this impulse. You give it to yourself, but through the water medium, your mother also receives that impulse from within. But when you hear this impulse as unfold, she interprets the same impulse as expand. And then you generate one impulse and you both receive it. You feel it as a desire to unfold, a desire to have more oxygen, more nutrients, more space, more. And she feels it as inner tension, something that's pushing from inside and saying, stretch, stretch, expand, expand, expand. Now, that it's important that the medium through which you're sending signals is water. And when you're sending, the signal travels very fast. And if this is a woman who is ready to be a mother, every time she gets this impulse from within, which says expand, expand, she readily expands. She just steps back, expands, and she gives more to you. You pull more out of her, and she gives you more, and she steps back, expands, expands. Now, if the mother is not willing to expand anymore, if she's tired and she's like, you keep pushing and she's like, just stop, just enough, just sit there, just stop pushing and stop asking for more. If when you send an impulse, that impulse goes through the water medium and the mother is not expanding, she resists that impulse, she resents it, then that impulse is sent back to you. So what you are feeling is strange discomfort. Something is really strange. You're generating impulses and you are feeling pressure instead of feeling more space. I want more space and you get more space. I want more space and you get more space. Instead of that, I want more space and I want more space and I can't move. That pressure that I want, and that the more I want, the more I feel pressured. That feeling, if we take this analogy and we copy it to what's happening when you are physically outside, but energetically you're in the same room. Now, when you are outside, you know that something has changed when you're outside, but you keep doing the same thing. You, again, generate an impulse to unfold. I want to unfold. And you send that impulse to yourself. You try to unfold. And for example, you unfold, you get a little bigger. Now you need a little more food. And that impulse, when you want to unfold, you send the impulse out. And through the water medium, energetic water, which is element, which represents emotion, feeling, whenever you feel that impulse for more, that impulse to unfold, your mother also feels something. If she is willing to be caring and loving mother, she interprets that impulse right away and she understands, oh, okay, you want more food or whatever. She gets it and she comes and gives it to you as soon as she can. What you notice right away when you're out is that something has changed. When you were in the womb, you would generate an impulse and whatever you want would just automatically come to you right away. I want more oxygen just comes. I want more nutrients just come. And it's like just happens instantly. But now when you're outside, what you notice is there appears a delay. It's not enough to just generate an impulse. You generate it, you wait, nothing's happening. Then you have to scream or cry, and then they react. Maybe they are outside of the room and they don't hear right away. And this is the key thing I want you to notice: delay. Delay is what delay is the source of your future unpleasant emotions. Any emotion that you're feeling, root of it is in delay. Because if you've already generated an impulse, I want something. And if you just receive it right away, there's no time for to be disappointed. But when you generated an impulse and you pushed it and you pushed it out and like nothing is happening, the more you wait, the longer is the delay, the worse is your emotion about it. If delay is small, you're just a little sad. If delay is a bit larger, longer, you are angry, and then you can get hateful, and then you can get disgusted. It's just all levels of the difference of delay, how long you're waiting for realization of the impulse that you have generated. Of course, if you've generated a lot of impulses and all of them are being delayed for 55 years, then everything that you experience is just disgust, constant disgust with everything. So, delay is a key element here. And because there is no way that mother, even the best mother of all, cannot respond to every impulse that you generate exactly in time, same as you were getting that response in the womb. There will be delay. That's obvious. And that delay will slowly build up. And your mother's work in that period, when you're sharing the energetic field and emotional field, is to explain to you emotions. Her work before she rejects you emotionally, she has to introduce you to these emotions. Whatever, like what are you feeling? That these are all just gradations, so different levels of your impatience. Okay, different types of delay. And you have to be able to interpret them for yourself. But what happens when a mother is at some point just tired of like responding to every impulse that you generate? Same as in the womb, when she resents or like she rejects that impulse, she resists that electrical signal, that signal goes back into you. But then you don't understand what it is, you send it again, and then it comes back again, send it again, it comes back again. Here, this looks like you are electrocuting both of you. Then it's hard to understand like who is guilty. But the idea, understand, there's water medium in between you and your mother. If at any time of your childhood the impulses that you are creating were too much for your mother to respond to, and she did not have the skill to detach timely. It's not like in the womb, if she could not just give birth to you earlier, she didn't know that she can reject you earlier energetically. She keeps holding you, trying to provide for you, but at the same time resisting the pressure that you are creating. You keep pushing. She doesn't like it. But she's trying to be a good mother. She doesn't like it, but she's trying to be a good mother. What's happening there? Her resistance is causing you to electrocute yourself. Because you keep generating impulses. You don't understand what's happening. And what you feel pressure from inside because you keep generating, and the emptiness in you grows. It's like your stomach is just like it needs more and more food. It gets bigger and bigger, more hungry. That hole inside of you just opens. Hunger, you want more. You generate more impulses, more. But you send them, and instead of getting fed into that hunger, into that request that you're generating, you have those impulses sent back to you. You send them out, they're sent back to you. So you feel inner tension and outer pressure because you are in that womb which is resisting to expand. It doesn't want to expand. That's where you will feel, on one hand, chaos inside, emptiness inside, hunger inside, and pressure from outside. That is your mother holding you in the womb, on one hand, not just releasing you, which she should, just release, just throw the baby out, the baby will unfold better without you if you can't help anymore. But she wants to be a good mother, and she's trying her best, and she's worrying for you, she's caring for you. But at the same time, that worry and that fear for you is what is electrocuting you. And it is electrocuting you and her also, because you are one. You're in her womb. Between you is only water. All electricity that you're feeling, she's feeling too. That is the idea of this empathic connection. When you're just born, she's supposed to feel everything you're feeling. You're sharing one feeling field. You feel everything she feels everything you feel. That is done for her to be able to predict your needs, your desires. But a mother doesn't know, unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, mother cannot know that she cannot be this loving, caring mother for too long. While the baby is just little infant, all needs of the baby can be easily predicted because it's mostly biological being. All the needs are physiological at first. So it's very easy to feel and predict what the baby needs at that time. But at the time when you start developing your personality, your individuality, and when you start learning to think, mother has to drop this illusion that she can predict your needs, your desires. She can't. It's impossible. You can predict only needs. If you have cats or dogs, you probably can predict their needs. They're predictable. They're mostly biological. Even if they do have some personality or something, you still can predict. But of a human, if you're a mother and you think you can predict your child's needs, you are deeply confused, because if you think so, it's probably your child is hiding many sides from you to give you this feeling that you know them, you understand them. You can't. It's a separate personality, and in order for it to unfold, it has to be born. And in different societies, different from our current society, there were rites of passage, there were rituals, there were initiations where a child would be separated from the mother at very specific age. And he would be put under some very uncomfortable circumstances, and he would have to go through some stressful or fearful experience where he would face the darkness, face the reality, and the child in him would die, and the adult would be born. And then he would come back to the family already as an adult. Not in the sense that he'll start working the same day and providing for the family, but the idea is that he will be taking, from that point on, full responsibility for his own emotional field, which unfortunately is not happening in our current world. But that's the quality of Kali Yuga. That's what we have to work with. So I hope these are like the main points I'm going through. If I missed anything. So that's the importance of separation. Why is it important? What is it? It's cutting the energetic cord with your mother at the age when you are already too big for her energetic field to hold you. If she holds you beyond that time, you are just suffocating. You are just living in this fishbowl where you don't even realize that you're in a fishbowl. That's like when you're in the womb. You don't know that you're in the womb, right? When you're just born, at first you don't even have awareness of your own body even. You don't even experience any limits. So if you are in the womb, you don't even know that you're in the womb. And that's the responsibility of the mother, to know when it's time to release you. And that's where this false programming of like a very loving mother has to accept the child as he's accept. You've accepted the baby. If that's your child, you've accepted and you did your best until the moment when it became hard for you. The moment when it's hard for you, you have to detach emotionally, because when it's already hard for you and you're still holding, you are electrocuting the baby, you're suffocating the baby. The baby will do better if you release the baby into the world. You can still love and care, but not keep one emotional field with them, because that, if you keep one field, that will keep the baby in illusion of living. The baby in the fishbowl in the womb does not know that he is not existing in the real world. He thinks that he is meeting real people, he's dealing with the real world, while this whole time he's just living in a fishbowl where inner walls of this fishbowl are just made of mirrors, and he's just seeing his own reflection from many different sides. And we have generations of people who live in a fishbowl and die in a fishbowl, never even realizing that they never seen the actual world, that they just dealt with their own projections all the time. So this whole time you might be dealing only with reflections of yourself, and with every relationship that you are building a relationship with your mother. Because when you're in the womb, you don't know anything else. It's just you and your mother. And it seems to you like your mother is the whole world. And if the mother is cruel or rigid, then it seems to you that the whole world is cruel and rigid. Because your mother, your relationship with mother, is a reflection of your relationship with the matrix, with the world, this world, 3D. So, because you, like, your mother is your portal into 3D. So for you, she is the matrix. So if you hate your mother, you will most likely hate the whole matrix, the whole world. If you think that the world is like, putting pressure on you, it's your mother putting pressure on you. Whatever you think about the world, about the matrix, is what you think about the mother. So your relationship with the mother is the key, because you are still inside of her, most probably. If you're watching this video, most probably you are in this bowl and you might not be aware of it. So that idea of awakening or coming out of what is it, like what happened to Neo? He like awakened or come out of that sleep or whatever are all those allegories. I forgot what is the most popular one, but you got the idea of waking up to a reality, seeing the actual world, coming out of matrix into the real world. That's the whole idea of coming out finally of that relationship where you and your mother, it's the whole world. Everything that's happening is just imaginary stuff still playing on the walls of that fishbowl. Oh gosh, okay. There's so much, but I don't know how much should I, where should I stop? It's a huge topic, but let's see how much more I can add to this video. So the idea is this spiritual vessel is something that you get once you are fully unfolded. So if you partially unfolded within your physical mother's womb, now you're outside, you keep unfolding physically and spiritually. But then at some point, your mother starts resisting your unfolding, like she starts feeling some discomfort from you keep pushing, and she's like, what is this discomfort? That's how you experience when you're generating impulses and your mother starts resisting them. Then you start feeling like, what's this pressure? Is this something's wrong? Is this world wrong? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm bad. Maybe my mother is bad. Maybe something's wrong with my desires. That's how you experience. You experience it as this confusion, not understanding what's wrong, something is wrong, obviously. You don't know what. But then your mother is experiencing it as discomfort and tension as well. And if at some point she decides, like, what is this tension? I don't know, where is it coming from? It feels uncomfortable, but I didn't feel this pressure and tension before I had this baby. So it's probably this baby. It's probably something's wrong with this baby. So, like, her resistance grows if she labels you as the source of this discomfort. And then this mutual electrocution begins. So when you grow in those rigid walls, then you keep trying to unfold. You unfold sides, but you don't have space to unfold them fully. But you keep generating impulses. I want more. I want more. I want more space. I want more power. I want more. I want to be more. I want to do more. I want to say more. And you keep generating them, but the walls are still holding you. Then you will come to a great conclusion that you just need to find another mother. That's the idea of previous video. Find someone to love. Okay, you just find a victim who seems big enough, like big enough bowl, who will contain this whole potentiality of who I am. Already I'm partially unfolded and this mother can't hold me anymore. I don't like her. So that whole teenage rebellion, all of that, like she's bad, she's evil, I'll go find someone better. And you go find a lover or partner, someone who seems to you more suitable to play this role. To attract this partner, you will display on your glass, because you are dealing with yourself, your mirror projections in that fishbowl, and the person that you attract will be someone who is also dealing with his own projections. So you will attract each other by displaying the most ideal versions of yourself. It's like, this is the version that I'm pretty sure will be liked, so I express it. I show it, display it, and in the person, I will also see the sides that I consider ideal. Like, what is ideal parent for me? I will project those sides onto the screen, onto that person, and I will feel like I'm interacting with a real person, while the whole time I'm interacting with my mother still, with the fishbowl. I'm not going anywhere. But I need this illusion that if this woman can't do, I need to find someone who can do this for me. So with this partner, I will first attract them. The moment they accept me, I will feel relaxed and ready, take a breath, and then I will start unfolding that whole potential that I've been holding here. I start unfolding within their consciousness if they accept me. And that moment, up until that moment, everything is romantic and beautiful. I love you and you love me. It's all beautiful at that, like, until the moment when you have merged with that person. You merged with the mother, you merged with that person. It's like, got you. Okay, we're one. Now, time to unfold. Usually both do it at the same time. So we both start to unfold because we don't know the mechanism. We don't know what we're doing, but we're just doing it naturally. So before merging, everything is flowers and butterflies. The moment we merge, something changes, like some discomfort. Something has changed. It becomes less colorful, a little bit more boring, and it becomes more as a chore, more as a work. What you're actually feeling at that moment is that someone is unfolding within you. That's what your mother didn't like, when she felt like the pressure from within. And imagine if you've been feeling the pressure from within for so long, you're so tired of it already from your own hunger. And then you also had that pressure from outside of the bowl, pushing on you, pressing on you. Now you are merged with that love of your life, and one beautiful morning you just feel tension. Something is wrong. So maybe he's not the one. Maybe she's not the one. Maybe something. And that discomfort, understand that discomfort is the, you start electrocuting each other again. So both are feeling that same discomfort of the mother, because no one here is a mother. Not your technical physical mother is not spiritually a mother yet. You are not a mother to accept anyone, and the partner that you merged with is not a natural mother. So no one here, out of all three of you, no one enjoys that feeling of something expanding within you. It just uncomfortable. What is this? What is this pressure? And what you do, maybe you hold it as long as you can, depending on the case. But maybe you'll be a little patient. You try to play along for a while. At some point when you run out of patience, you reject the baby. You reject, and that baby, that mother rejects you. So you might feel upset about rejection, and you might feel that rejection is not love, because what you wanted to be accepted. And here I am to tell you that rejection is part of love, because what you wanted was be accepted, allowed to unfold, and be rejected. You wanted that. Once you own that desire, once you understand that's what you were going for, and you got it, you're upset because you didn't know, you were not fully aware that that's what actually you wanted, for the person to hold you as long as they have capacity to hold you. And if capacity of that person is one day, well, they did the best they could. Maybe at least you unfolded one side of your spiritual shape, spiritual geometric figure that you are. Maybe one side. Someone, maybe late you're not done, you go and try find love again. Maybe next person allows you to unfold 2, 3, 4 more. Maybe you become so professional, as many warriors become at some point. They understand the mechanism, even not knowing all the dynamics here, but they understand how to use people without allowing them to use you. How to use them as your container, convince them to serve you. Like, I'm a pearl and you're a shell. Like, I've done so much of that. That's why I'm confessing. I've done a lot of that in my time of being a warrior. And I manipulated in this way because it was the only thing I knew at that time, and it seemed the most natural thing to do. That's why if you're doing it, no problem, I was there. It's the way to come to your more full expression, fuller expression, whatever. So you go and you find better and better and better containers, which allow you to unfold more and more and more and more and more of your sides. And you learn not to waste time at that time, because if you're a warrior, you're after your own interest, okay? You're not for accommodating others to unfold. If someone manages to unfold within your consciousness, you notice that your capacity has increased. Not bad, good. But my goal is still to unfold me. So I will tend to find those who are stronger than me and try to unfold within them. That's a whole different process, but here, at least to get the main points. You'll keep unfolding, 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 until you reach the level where you might finally meet someone whose capacity, like how big of a mother is that person, capacity to hold, matches your current level of unfolding. How much you've unfolded, like if, let's take my example, if I've unfolded to like this huge structure, and majority of people I would meet at that level of my growth simply I wouldn't fit into their consciousness. Even though I would get a lot of like people who are coming, oh, I would like to contain you. I love you. You're amazing. No, no, no. I would understand that the consciousness of the person, yeah, they're projecting some ideal onto me. It's once you become multifaceted, it becomes very easy to be liked because everyone can project some ideal onto me. And so you understand, like a lot of people will be coming projecting their ideal onto you, and you can clearly understand capacity of a person if they're projecting a very simple ideal onto me. Obviously they will not handle, even if I try to fit in to then later unfold, I will just blow up their consciousness. So that doesn't work at some level. Then you have to search for someone whose capacity is big enough. That's all story about soulmates first, and then twin flames. Twin flame is someone who whose capacity matches your unfolded shape, like fullness of who I am. Someone who can hold the fullness of who I am. And that is rare. I met only one person in my whole research, my whole lifetime. I met only one person, and I was hoping that it could be like, I was searching for teachers, for guides, shamans, spiritual gurus, someone to contain me. But even within a guru, I could not unfold. Then I would try shaman, I could not unfold. And finally, only one man I found in the whole lifetime who was able to accept me and allow me to unfold. So I would just show more and more and more and more sides of me, and I would not get even the slightest resistance, which was very shocking experience to me because I've never, like, if you've never seen it, like, hard to recognize what's happening. But once I realized that this person is actually allowing, I kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, expressing more and more and more and more sides of myself, seeing like, where is the limit? Where is my limit? Once again, at the very beginning, we spoke about limits. That is the quality of this dimension. To be able to express yourself here, you have to find your limits here in this dimension. In that dimension, you are something, but we can't know what are your limits there. They can't be measured there. To measure them, you have to come out here and unfold. And once you are fully unfolded, that's where we can see how big or small are your limits. So within consciousness, which has capacity that matches my ability to push, to unfold, that's where your spiritual birth happens. And that moment is you finding your identity, knowing who you are. It happens when you, because until that moment, like, you can't know who you are. You're not fully expressed. You're not fully unfolded. So you're a mystery. You're potential. But once you're fully unfolded, then this is who I am. This is who I am, unfolded, brought who I am the way I came. And that moment is spiritual birth. That moment is described as the person giving you the cup of love, giving you the Holy Grail. And that cup of love is like cup which holds pure water in it. Pure water, meaning that medium that connects me and the mother in the fishbowl, in the womb, that water, when it's pure, it's just love. Just love. Your mother just loves you and she just expands, 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 expands. But when that water is muddy, then it's not just pure love, it's just her own pain, her own worries, her own fears, her own egoistic desires. So that makes this water muddy. So someone gives you like fishbowl full of pure water, saying expand as much as you want. Unfold. Okay, here is the distinction between unfolding, that's action that of a child. I'm unfolding until I'm fully unfolded into who I am. Expansion is stretching of the vessel of the mother. Now, that shift, that initiation into the next level of consciousness is happening the moment you feel totally accepted, totally unfolded, and totally rejected. You have to be born from that pure, like bowl, fish full of pure water. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you, Tan. Gave me birth as the wholeness of who I am, not just potentiality of who I could be, wholeness of who I am. And from that point on, I don't need to unfold anymore. From that point, I can still expand. There was a little earthquake now when I stopped for a mind. I can still expand. So it's my choice, conscious choice from that point on that I'm able to make now when I don't need to unfold anymore, but I'm still here, physical, still growing. So my choice to grow from this point on is by not inserting myself into anyone's consciousness anymore and not trying to unfold within them anymore, because that can be it will be very dangerous for anyone who tries to contain me. The moment I become a full-blown black hole, I cannot search for containment anymore. Once I know my power, I cannot pretend like I'm not sure if I have power or not. Because anyone to whom I will come with a request to contain me will be blown apart. And last few people who tried to be friends with me or partners with me, who tried to contain me, got physical damage, not from me, but they all, by very fun accident, all broke left leg. So knowing that a desire or an intention, attempt to contain me damages people, I stopped trying to search for containment, and I realized that I can keep growing by expanding only. Now, even that expanding only is enough for me. Just allowing others to unfold within my limits, use my container as their limits to unfold themselves and to know themselves. What I get from that interaction is my capacity increases, my boundaries expand passively without me putting pressure on any more mothers. I don't know, I hope I added some clarity to this topic, but this video is already 1 hour, so I'm gonna stop and I'll see how I divide the rest of the material for next videos. I'll see you soon. Bye.